Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be an update for my whole collection of Project Pan. And if you've read the title, you know that this is going to be my first update to this Project Pan, which is not a mistake, you're reading that right. I have not updated this project at all this year. I'm not really going to get into why I have not updated any of my Project Pans this year. Take a guess, things have been crazy this year. If you watch my makeup inventory, you know that I have sort of been struggling with panning versus wanting to try out new products and really get a good feel for how they perform, and also just that I am decluttering some things, and I'm sort of just trying to find the balance between panning products and still trying out new things and making it so that everything makeup related is fun for me. Enough rambling about that. If you don't know what the whole collection Project Pan is, this project was started by Becky Loves Kanga. Emily and I did this project as a collab last year because we had seen Alexi do this project and we thought it would be so much fun, and of course we wanted to do a collab together, so this is what we decided on. A lot of people wanted us to open it up this year to do a huge big collab, and so that's what we did. And yeah, so there is a playlist. I will leave it linked down below so you can find all of the YouTubers who are doing this Project Pan, and also there is a hashtag, so make sure you're checking that out on Instagram so you can find people on Instagram who are doing this Project Pan as well. So I will leave Emily's channel link down below, as well as Alexi and Becky's channel. Make sure that you check all three of them out, as well as everyone else who is doing this. So to recap this project, it is a rolling up Project 10 pan, and so that means we're working on 10 products, and when we hit our goal on a product, we can roll something in its place. But the products that we are working on are randomly selected. So what I have is I have a spreadsheet, and I just pull a random number when I'm rolling something into this project, and then whatever product that is that corresponds to the number that I randomly generate, that's the product that I'm working on. So I do have a couple of rules surrounding this. I'm not going to be pulling any mascaras, I'm not going to be pulling any black liners, and I have a max of 2 eyeshadows allowed in this project. I also saw some people doing kind of a 2 product limit per category, so no more than 2 blushes, no more than 2 bronzers, no more than two foundations, things like that, for example. So I am going to also implement that as a rule because I think it makes a lot of sense. You don't want to be trying to work on 5 blushes, and I did pull a lot of blushes in my intro that I kept re-rolling because I was like, one's enough, I don't need to do more than that. I do have every single pan listed out in my spreadsheet for this Project Pan. I made a specific spreadsheet for this Project Pan so I could list out each individual pan, so even if it's an eyeshadow palette, it will be a specific shade from that palette rolled in, and same with base palettes. And then the other thing I want to mention before we get into my update is that my spreadsheet is severely out of date. I bought a lot of new makeup recently and I haven't added it. I've been so forgetful when it comes to my spreadsheet. I haven't added anything, and I haven't taken away any of the things that I've decluttered. So when we do go to pull products, I might have to roll a couple of numbers, but maybe not, so we'll see how it goes. So I promise this is the last thing that I want to mention before we talk about the products. This update is not going to be an exciting one. Like I mentioned, I haven't really been paying much attention to my Project Pan items. Not that I haven't been using them, but I just haven't really been super dedicated to them. Let's go ahead and talk about the products that I'm keeping in this project. I am rolling 2 products out, not again because I hit my goal or anything, but I have decided I'm going to be a little bit more selective about the products that I am panning. All right, I'm going to start off with the eyeshadow palettes that I have in this Project Pan. I have 1 shade from each of the palettes. I'm going to switch up my goal. I think originally I said that I was going to try and hit pan on both of these shades, but that's just not going to happen, I don't think. So the first one is from the Certifeye Dynasty palette. This shade right here, which is Opal, excuse my nails, they're looking very janky. I'm so sorry, you guys, I really I need to figure out my nail situation. So yeah, there's that shade right there. It's just like a kind of a nice blue shade. I'll give it a little swatch. It's like a kind of an icy pale shimmery blue right there. So I've only used this twice. It's just a shade that I feel like I don't necessarily want to pan. It's not a color that is really inspiring me. I'm going to change my goal on this to use it 15 times, and if at that point I still have not hit pan, I can choose to roll it out. I think that that's a good number because I don't think I'll get too burned out on it. I think if I tried 30, I would not make it. But if after 15 uses and I still have no pan, I will, if I'm enjoying panning it, I will consider continuing to pan it. Otherwise, I'll roll it out. Next up, I have a shade from the Natasha Denona Star palette. The shade that I pulled is this one right here. It's the shade Earth, and it is like a pretty dark brown, and it actually, I guess it doesn't really come off darker when you swatch it, but I feel like I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be so dark. I don't know why. I haven't been getting a lot of use out of this. It's just not a shade that I reach for a lot. You know, even if I'm doing kind of a more neutral look, I feel like I rarely go this dark with a brown. I don't know. I think I can definitely use it. I've been in a mood more so for colorful eyeshadow looks, and this doesn't really fit in with some of the other shades that I'm panning, which isn't to say that I shouldn't be getting use out of it because there's a whole palette that I could work with, so it's not really an excuse. I just haven't really been inspired to use it, and I need to figure out a way to inspire myself to use it. I've actually only used that shade one time, so we're not doing well on that. We're not. And you know what? It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's just panning. So next up, I have a blush. This is from Sigma. It is their Corday Rosa Aurora powder. And I think this is a beautiful blush. I am wearing it today. I do have a cream blush underneath, and I do have another blush that I kind of used over top of this, but I would say still the color shows through pretty well. I think this is a beautiful blush. I think that my goal was just to use it 30 times. I don't think I was trying to be super ambitious with this blush. So I'm pretty sure my goal was just to use it 30 times, and I'm gonna stick with that. I've only used it 4 times though. So my goal with this one is to get it, hit that 30 uses in like the next 2 updates. Or wait, no, we're only updating this every other month. So no, are we updating it every month? I think we're updating this one every month. I'm so sorry, I can't keep track. So yeah, the next couple of updates I expect to have this, I expect to have met the goal for this. I do think I can roll this out. I kind of expected it to already be rolled out by now, but yeah. Next I have the Anastasia, this is their foundation stick, but it's for contouring, and it's in the shade Fawn. And I actually did contour today with this, but I did it underneath my foundation. I watched Amuse's like super long in-depth tutorial, and best 50 minutes of my life, to be honest. Like, she is amazing. So, and she did that in her tutorial. She did her contouring and like then kind of went in with foundation. She did her contouring, then her concealer, and then anywhere she didn't put contouring, and anywhere she didn't put contour or concealer, she put foundation. I didn't do that. I kind of still went in with foundation like all over, but it was like I had this very like subtle contour underneath the foundation, and I really liked that. I felt like it was like easy. Like it was, I don't know, it just like worked really, really well, and I do feel like, I don't know, I feel like it looks really nice, so I'm gonna probably continue to do that. So I did get some use out of this today, which was nice, and when it's scrolled all the way down, it is flush with the packaging. I don't think it was like that before. Maybe it was, but I don't think so. So I've used this twice. Again, I think I mentioned this in the intro of this video, which was so long ago, so I don't blame you for not remembering, but I did say that I hadn't really been interested in contouring lately. Like, it's just not something that I've been interested in doing, and actually now I'm starting to get back into it, so I fully expect myself to get a lot more use out of this in this kind of last half, 2/3 of the project. So I will insert a little clip of it on the piece of paper. I do see like a little bit of movement there with only 2 uses, so that does make me feel a little bit better. I was able to make a new mark. Next up, I have this Laura Gellar highlighting palette. This is the Dripping in Gold palette. So this comes with 3 highlighting shades. It has Gilded Honey right here, Molten Copper right here, and then French Fizz. This shade right here is actually why I bought this palette, because it looks like a very beautiful pale gold highlight. And I actually do really like that shade. I was considering decluttering this because I was like, well, there's only like 1 shade that I can use all the time. The other 2 I kind of have to finesse a little bit or self-tan in order to use them. And so I was considering decluttering this, but I decided not to. Because I like the formula of this, and I do think that these pans are small enough that if I'm gonna use up a highlighter, you know, it could probably be one from this palette. So the shade that I rolled in though is actually the Molten Copper one, and it is a little too deep for me on its own. I kind of swatched it there for you guys. That wasn't like the best swatch, my bad, but it's a little bit, you know, too deep for me to use. Like, I think you guys can kind of tell I mixed it today with French Fizz, but I have to use a lot more French Fizz, and I feel like I feel like it's still a little too dark even when I do that. So regardless, I still think it's a really pretty highlight. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep working on this. I think in my intro I set my goal to be to hit pan on that shade, and I think if I were to hit pan on this shade, I would also hit pan on this shade because I'm using both of them. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to keep this in the project, and I'm going to continue to try and hit pan on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it. It's like I can't build up the highlighter a lot because it is very dark, well, on me. So I usually go in really heavy-handed with highlighter. But again, like I've mentioned, I have to use a lot more of this, and yeah, so I'm gonna keep it in the project though, because I do think that even if I don't hit pan on it, I will still have quite a bit of progress on it. I don't know, then I could maybe make like a Franken highlighter or something. That would be kind of cool, so we'll see. But anyways, there's that. Okay, and then next up I have 3 lip products. I have a lip pencil and 2 of these Bite Mini Amuse Bouche lippies. I am wearing one of them today. Well, I'm wearing the lip liner and one of the lippies today, and I don't know if I'll be able to make new marks, but I'm going to go ahead and check that right now and see if I can, and I'll let you know. With the NYX liner, I'll show a close-up, but I was able to make some good progress there. I have to sharpen it almost every time I use it. It just gets so dull. So I feel like I can make really good progress on that, but my goal is to use it about halfway up, and I'm not anywhere close to that. That's where this star is right here, and then this is where we're at. So it's going to be a while, but I do think I'm going to keep it in the project pan probably the whole year, honestly, and just see how far I can get with it. For my Gemini lippy from Bite Beauty, I was able to make a new mark, but for the Virgo lippy, I was not able to make a new mark. Okay, so I did swatch the lip products right there. I've got the lip liner, Gemini 2, and Virgo. For the lip liner, I have used that 5 times. I've also used Gemini 5 times, and I have used Virgo once. I actually used Virgo today as a cream blush to get that 1 use. It's just not a color that I feel like trying to rock at this point in time because it's, you know, kind of spring and starting to get a little warm here. And so I haven't really been wanting to put on a kind of more vampy shade like that. So I'm tempted to roll it out of the project, but at the same time I just feel like it's not really worth doing that. I can use it as a cream blush, and I actually really liked how it went on. It was a little harder to blend out because of the formulas. A little weird on it. It is a little bit harder to blend out. It takes a little bit more work, and I have to be extremely careful not to, you know, like go in and, you know, I gotta blend it out really quickly before it kind of sets down. But I do think it actually weirdly makes a really pretty blush. You think it would be really, really dark, but it blends out to a kind of almost like a nice vibrant pink, but you are able to blend it out. So it's not like crazy, you know, I'm wearing it today and it's not crazy. So Yeah, and then I do have Gemini 2 on the lips as well as the NYX Natural Lip Liner, so I feel like I'm making okay progress on those. The Gemini lipstick, I was able to make a pretty significant new mark there, so I'm okay with that. Those lippies are so tiny that, you know, they're so tiny. I just feel like they don't have that many uses anyways. It's not like trying to pan a full-size lip product. So I do feel like I can make steady progress on this, and I'm going to keep at it and hopefully have these rolled out before the end of the project. So that leaves me with my last two products, which I am rolling out. One of them is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Color Corrector in the shade Peach. I am not going to go grab that one. It's like buried in a drawer and I don't feel like searching for it. I'm rolling out of this project. I just don't use color correctors. You know, I don't mind having a couple in my collection for the occasional time where I might need it, or if I am doing my friend's makeup or something, but generally speaking I just don't really have a need for them, and so I'm not going to pan one. I'm rolling that product out, and then the other product that I'm going to go ahead and roll out is the Bahama Mama bronzer. I've been thinking about decluttering this, but I think for now I'm actually going to keep it, but it's too dark for my natural skin tone. I don't know if it's because it is a little bit older in my collection, and because of that it's a little bit harder to blend out. It doesn't look that dark. I'll give it like a little swatch right there. It just doesn't blend as well as I remember it blending, if that makes sense. For that reason, it's just a little too dark for me to use on my natural skin tone without me kind of feeling like I went a little too heavy with my bronzer. Decided that I'm going to go ahead and keep it in my collection for the times that I do want a darker bronzer when I am self-tanning, but I'm not going to try and pan it. I don't have that many darker bronzer shades that I feel like I need to pan my way through them, and even if I did, honestly, I don't think I would try and force myself to. I want to stick to panning things that match my natural skin tone, because when I do self-tan, it's like not possible for me to get dark enough to the point where I can't use a lot of my like cheek products, you know, like blushes are going to be fine on me no matter if I'm self-tanning or not. Most highlighters are going to work for me even if I do get a little bit of a tan. I feel like they won't be too light, and bronzers, I can always build them up. So let's go ahead and roll in some new shades, and then we will decide, and then I'm going to go through and kind of tell you guys what my goals are for my next update. So I'm putting in my min and my max. Keep in mind that I have every single pan listed, and randomize this. Okay, 238. All right, and then we need to pull another one, so 581. Okay, so one of those numbers was an eyeshadow, so we're gonna re-pull. Okay, that one's also an eyeshadow. 608. I'm a little annoyed by these products, but it's fine. I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat, I'm gonna be setting usage goals for these, and they are going to be small. They're going to be very small. Let's get into it. So the first product that I pulled is a glitter from Anastasia. This is in the shade Glisten. It was part of their holiday glitter collection. And you know what, I'm going to say that my goal is just going to use this 10 times. I'm not going to try and pan a glitter. That's just something that happens. You know what? No. I'm going to pull a different product. I don't want to pan a loose glitter. I just don't want to. Sorry if that upsets you, but I just don't want to pan a loose glitter. They're, you know, I have to be in a very specific mood to use them, and it's not, you know, I'm not worried that I'm not going to get use out of this. It's just, I will pull another product after I tell you what the second one is that I pulled. This is another glitter, but it is a glitter liner. And because of that, I do think I can get a little bit more use out of this. So my goal will be to use this 15 times. These are way easier to use. I like the trick that, not trick, I guess, just like a, I don't know what to call it, like a look. So I remember Rebecca Morgan had panned something like this, like a similar product, and she would put it on the right under her brow. Like she would kind of like line just underneath her brow as like a brow bone highlight, but like with a little bit of glitter. It was just kind of like a line of glitter, and I absolutely love that, and I've tried it before and I really enjoyed it. So I think I can do that with this a lot and really like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that my goal will be to use, what did I say? Did I say 10? I'm gonna actually challenge myself to use this 30 times. Cause this is like a loose glitter is not gonna go bad, you know, but something like this will. I think, yeah, I'm gonna try and challenge myself to use this 30 times, but these are also really easy to just put on your lid as well to kind of add some glitter. But like a loose glitter, it's just like I have to be in a very specific mood to work with one, and that's why I really just don't want to pan it. It's not that I don't feel like I would want to use it. I want to use them, I have to be in a very specific mood, and I just don't want to mess around with that. So I'm just like not in the mood for it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and use this 30 times. So let's pull another product. Okay, 268. I think this is going to be another eyeshadow, but let me check. It is another eyeshadow, so 646. Okay, so I finally pulled a shade. So I'm gonna probably try and edit a little bit of that out, because I was like, I had to pull like 20 numbers, it felt like, to finally pull something that wasn't a lipstick, wasn't an eyeshadow, and wasn't something that I have decluttered. So anyways, what I finally ended up pulling is a Colourpop highlighter. This is the Super Shock Cheek in the shade Lunch Money. So I'm actually pretty excited about this. I've been wanting to put this in a project pan for quite some time, so that actually works out like perfectly. I did like a really horrible swatch right here. So hopefully you guys can see that. My goal for this will be just to try and hit pan. And I do want to try to kind of wear it down evenly as much as possible. Don't want to like concentrate on the middle. I want to kind of also wear down the sides a little bit too as well. I don't think it'll be super easy to hit pan, but I do think that this is going to be a fun product to pan. I've actually been wanting to pan it for a while, so I'm pretty happy about this. So that is my update for the whole collection project pan. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure you are checking out all the other lovely panners who are doing this project. Make sure you check out Becky Loves Kinga as well, as she is the one that created this project, so definitely go over and give her some love on her channel. That's it for this video. If you did enjoy, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That's everything, so I will see you all in my next video. Bye.